All right, I'm recording. Are you recording?
Yes.
Wait for the neighbor. We're just waiting for the neighbor. And yay, the neighbor's parked. Okay. So it's been a couple of busy months since Pop's passed. Just want to show you guys all we've been getting done. Had my buddy Jason do a lot of helping out with me. He's the one running the camera right now, so big thanks to him for helping out with a lot of stuff. One of the things we did was we got rid of the boat. We can now park everybody's vehicles in the driveway, and makes the curb nice and easy to drive up to. Another thing we did was to take down the old wood retaining wall and put some gravel down, glued these pavers in place, and removed some of the plumbing. And it's really nice. It definitely looks well and retains a lot of water better. This up here has been the big effort, was getting the garage. There was a little walkway halfway in, otherwise you couldn't really get in here. And now I can come inside. This is all the like lubes and spray paints and glue chemical cabinet. I got tools and supplies that aren't super accessed often. Found a neat little lathe. The real big trick was figuring out if we're never gonna park a car, I can just use the garage door as a wall. So by pushing things out, I was able to get Pops' old toolbox and my toolbox. And now we actually can use the bandsaw. It feeds out onto the driveway. Got my vise, and the idea with the workbench, again, with push it towards the door, I can stand outside and work on it, or I can stand inside. It's still a mess. We still got a lot of sorting and organizing to do, but this was the huge effort, was figuring out exactly what we had to begin with, but then how to have it all. So the idea is, everything is pretty much within arm's reach. And then the big stuff on the table, lift it off onto the table saw, and then I can just wheel it out onto the driveway and then use my big tools out there. Behind this is all my welding stuff. Got the helmets and the welders and all the accessories and supplies up on here. This is this half of the cart. But this half of the cart, I want to have like the one of each screwdriver, one of each wrench, one of each socket, the quick access, so I don't have to go digging for anything. And then shop press. And then we cleaned out the Gorilla racks. And we got a lot of it sorted. Gave Mama her own little area down here. And then we got, the paint, the safety supplies, and then the start of the parts house with various nuts and bolts and screws. And that turns into the rest of it over here. Found these cool little drawers and building a shelf so that we can have cards, file cards that you pull out, and there'll be a couple of these you can look through, slide this one in. But working on getting that done. We got behind the gate cleaned up. Now we can actually keep the trash cans behind the gate where they should be, and recycling areas a little bit better stacked up. Mama's little side yard. This had just been a huge ever-growing pile of metal. The stuff that I want to keep, mostly pulled it all out. Some scrap metal guys are going to come haul off the rest of it, but eventually want to put grass down and restring the clothesline so Mama can have a place to walk out here barefoot. We took down the old garden shed. Papa and Uncle Kurt did a pretty good job of building it. The termites did a pretty good job of making it easy for Jason and I to pull it down. Pops' barbecue grill here for now. But eventually I want to brick, some sort of built-in, really nice fireplace. Mama's really enjoyed this. A lot of the tools from the garage were out here, but her patio, we've cleaned it off and we got tables and chairs, and I made some decorations out of old house signs and little mini fridge, and eventually we're gonna take this down and rebuild it, spruce it up, give it a new paint job. So maybe put a ceiling fan in it just to make it extra nice on those hot days. Out here we cleaned out this shed, which was just a big pile of random electrical and plumbing, but now it's kind of the storage shed or the storehouse shed. I got all my wood on the one side, and then all of my metal, all the different angle irons and bars and pipes and tubes and whatnot for actually building and doing stuff. And then the other shed out here was, well, man, that was the arachnophobia shed, let me tell you. Got it cleaned out and partially dismantled. It's just waiting to finish being yanked down. Back of the house is cleaned off, all the stuff that was stacked up against it. And this would be the trash pile. You know, it was, a lot of it was probably good when it got put in a shed, but it just sat there for so long that it wasn't good anymore. Wasn't worth doing much more to try to save it. But I mean, that pile goes pretty much all the way back to the fence. It's gonna be several runs to the dump. This was more than one weekend, but there used to be, like, you could step in or you could step in, and that was it. And now you can actually walk in here and walk around. And this is, all this stuff still needs to be sorted and, you know, figured out, put into a more permanent storage. This is, it's stuff we know we want to keep, but it needs to be boxed up better still. This side over here is more equipment, sandblasting cabinet, furniture dollies, you know, chippers and blowers. But I got a whole bunch of wire and plumbing parts and wheels, a big box of nothing but wheels. And yeah, no, it's been a huge effort. You know, we're really proud of being able to get everything done. Still got a lot more to do, so get out of my shed.